this happening right before my eyes. Again, I will repeat what I just said. Mark it down. I again tell you that there will be the equivalent of a crisis on the order of the Reichstag fire. I don't know where it will occur. I don't know how it will occur. I don't know what form it will take. But during this crisis that will be triggered by the Democrats around Obama, the gang that surrounds Obama, they will bring up Lincoln. They will recall the military dictatorship of Lincoln in other terms during the Civil War, and they will do what Lincoln did, and they will arrest civilians without warrant in the name of saving the economy or saving the government from a right-wing takeover. Mark my words. You could put that down, and you can put it in bronze, not on ice. I can guarantee you that.
In fact, guys, minimize that YouTube clip for me so I can see the headline on it for folks out there in Radio Land driving around their cars who actually want to see it. The name of the video is Drum Roll. Okay. Michael Savage, Reichstag fire event warning, New World Order manipulation. And so are you saying this because they realize that we're going to end up winning, or why are they suddenly talking like this, Bob?
Well, as I said, we scooped them, and their ratings are dropping. And they don't know what to do other than, so to speak, join us. And that's economic survival on their part. The United States government, in time, they've created their own opposition from time to time. And but that's not the case here. I mean, there is an opposition. And so they're not – sometimes they'll create propaganda instruments. This is one of them.
Have you seen the clips of Sean?
The lines of what we're doing, and
have you seen the clips of
stealing it too?
Have you seen the clips of Sean Hannity, where he says, "Oh yeah, the conspiracy theorists are right. It's a new world order. They want to set up a Bank of the World." See, all these years it was their job to tell conservatives none of this exists. There is no CFR. There is no new world order. 2 years ago, I'd get emails saying you're a nut. There's no plan for a cap and trade tax. And then suddenly Time Magazine, Newsweek, Times of London, hundreds of publications come out and say, Bank of the World is good, New World Order is good, global planetary government is good. So now they can't deny it anymore. They've got to play catch up and come out and say it's all real. I mean, I agree with you. That's what I know is happening.
Well, it is. And I think you're going to see more of it. And this steamroller could run right up against the people who are running things. I've said this on the show before, Alex. I think they're terrified. They never expected to run into this kind of resistance. These programs are reaching all over the world. It's not only America that's being infected with the truth. It's people everywhere. I mean, we get subscribers in Kazakhstan and Hong Kong and Taiwan and Chile and everywhere. We're winning, and they're scared. And believe me, if they march the military out to try to do things to us, the military's not going to follow unlawful orders. They're just not going to do it. And if they bring in foreign troops, those foreign troops are never going home.
Unless they have drills from Missouri to California, from Texas to New York, which we've confirmed they're having. Mainstream news, the Army has writers writing articles for mainstream news explaining, the militia is going to try to attack and kill the military, so we're doing drills to fight the militia. And, at this drill, we practice militia attacking a security checkpoint, in the hill country of the Ozarks. That's in the news as they role play with local police and citizens that, the Army's here to attack the militia because the militia are terrorists. They're preemptively seeing where the resistance is coming from, and the DHS reports we broke here and the MIAC reports we broke here state the number one threat, and what Homeland Security and Northcom is set up for is taking on former military and returning vets. Then we get the New York Times where they're training youth brigades. I mean, you can't make this up, folks. I'm not making it up.
Well, did you know
training to take on the veterans, training to take on gun owners?
I had a piece in there about a letter to one of my subscribers who sent it in, and I reprinted it, about them going into a VFW post I think it was in Louisiana, and demanding all their records. This is the Pentagon. And the guy that was running the show there, 86-year-old crusty ex-gunny, says, "You got to be kidding me. You're not going to get them."
Well, yeah, we've confirmed that story.
I'll have them destroyed.
We've confirmed that story. We've confirmed that with the VFW nationally. That's happening nationwide.
Well, you know, it should be a sign to everybody who's got a half a brain out there that you better get the Cosmoline off your AK and AR just to make sure. Because the Army and the Marine Corps, they're going to need us. They don't want to fight us. I mean, they're us. We're Americans, so aren't they? They are not going to follow unlawful orders. And if they bring in foreign troops to do that, they'll be liquidated. And another thing, too, which I don't know whether the Illuminists have thought about this, but let's say you ship in the whole contingent of military people from Mexico, just as an example. There's 100,000 of them, okay? They all get liquidated. In the same time, the government gets overthrown in Mexico because there's nobody to protect the criminals who are running the country. I mean, you know, if you're going to play chess, you got to think ahead.
Well, that's why they're going to use PSYOPs. That's why they're going to stage attacks on troops, engage in activities like that, so that they can kind of demonize the resistance and sell the military on doing it. I just don't think it's going to work because we've preemptively gone out there and reached out to everybody so they know these type of dirty tricks the establishment plays, Bob.
Absolutely. And don't you guys and ladies out there get sucked into any conflict. You only move when you're shot at. And you can form your own little groups, just, you know.
Oh, yeah. They're going to have cop killers out sniping cops and sniping military when the inner cities are burning down places because the welfare checks didn't come. And they're going to try to sell America on, look, they're burning inner cities. We've got to set up military checkpoints. We've got to do this for your safety, to where we beg for it. We've got to see through this as they try it, Bob.
Well, they've done that in Mexico, just as an example, especially in the frontier areas. They've got probably 60,000 troops, you know, along the border pursuing criminals and drug cartels. And it's not only there, down south in Chiapas and Guerrero and over in some of the other places where there's activities of that kind. They're using that as an excuse. And there's a lot of cities in that country where you see military vehicles parading up the street all the time. And they even knock on doors and say, "We want to search your house." And there's nothing you can do about it. They just go ahead and do it. And that's psychological conditioning.
No one can say that we're not in interesting times, Bob.
Well, that's for sure. And but, you know, if we can keep on pumping the true word to the people, they'll understand and they won't get sucked in by this. And when things get dreadful, they won't make stupid mistakes which would cause harm to them, their families, and others. And we got to back the military, and they've got to back us. Well, and it's the same thing with law enforcement. I mean,
well,
you don't want to go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You don't want to go home and find out that somebody found out you were in law enforcement and that they shot somebody because you were told to, because you were told they were terrorists, and so somebody went to your house and wiped your whole family out. And law enforcement, there's not that many of them. They don't have any protection. They really don't. And so they better think twice before they federalize, I'll tell you.
Well, they know that. They know if the American people decide to fight against them, they're dead meat. And so that's why, look, we have foreign banks openly raping, openly stealing everything, openly butchering the Bill of Rights and Constitution, openly involved in treason. This isn't rocket science. We're on the side of good. The globalists are bad. They're illegitimate. They're criminal. And finally, we are beginning to win people are talking about the private Federal Reserve. They're talking about the New World Order. The New World Order, I really believe, has overreached, and we have to get past this loser attitude of it's all a foregone conclusion, and it's the end of the world because the government paid for it, churches say so, 501c3, Rockefeller Foundation, World Council of Churches. We have to decide we could beat these people. We have to decide we could stand up and say no. But they have this Borg-like resistance is futile, you will be assimilated, mind trick they've gotten so many people into where the general public sees themselves as cowardly jellyfish and don't realize how dynamic and free and human they are and that we're alive right now and it's our destiny to be part of history bringing down the New World Order.